I don't know why it's saying that. What? I know that it's working, but sorry about that. Welcome to Tunnel Vision, hosted by Lane Rolling, and yeah, I got some more news about Tekashi 6ix9ine. A recent article just popped up in my like little news thing, and it's basically actually talking about the video that I put out earlier about him abusing his baby mom and all of that situation. So I'm just gonna get into it and read the article, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. So I'm pulling up the article right now. This is by the Daily Beast, and it starts off by saying, "That's not love. Tekashi 6ix9ine's ex-girlfriend, Sara Molina, he beat me so badly I could barely open my eyes. Earlier, she said he hit her so hard she almost went deaf. She beaten often during the 7-year romance, which ended with his arrest on gang-related charges." Tekashi 6ix9ine's ex-girlfriend said the first beating at the hotel in Dubai came shortly after she arrived from New York. "He punches me heroin history, a hair extension clip into her scalp. Wow. So I was leaking blood," she recalled. "There was blood on the hotel pillowcase. He got scared." Molina now would be taking another one home. He basically was. She arrived, but he had no sooner wakened than he was going through her phone. He demanded to know about a particular guy. She had not failed to see pictures that had been posted online of him converting in Dubai with 2 young women. And his punching me in the head because of a guy talking to me, she noted. So that's basically like her saying that like he's messing around with a bunch of women and he's got pictures of it, but he's gonna punch her in the head for, you know what I mean, from some dude trying to holler at her, like basically calling her Shada, to seek more than her friendship. He apparently hoped to elicit a confession from her by confessing himself to sleeping with more than 70 other women in the past year. Dang. And he's supposed to be taking care of his daughter, resulting in multiple pregnancies. She said he told her he had acquired multiple S. It didn't surprise me with 6ix9ine tattooed all over your body, but she could not confess to what she had not done. She said that he then announced he was giving her one more chance to admit what had not in the fact ever happened. So she's basically saying that she never did this. He had so hard in my right ear, and that every time she tried to scramble to the door, he pulled her back. She began to scream. He pressed the table. This is his way of telling me to stop. He put it in sexual relation. She went into the bathroom and stood. He said her arms and back were covered with bruises. I tried to cut my trip. She was from people around him or in New York after the incident, and Tekashi has never been arrested at Tekashi's hands. An account bolstered by photos she said are from 2 of the attacks. Tekashi himself is in federal custody on federal gang-related charges and unavailable for. He told Tekashi his 3-year-old daughter had not been in Dubai, but the little Sara had been with them in April of last year as they returned from a concert in Middletown, New York. They were in the car when they had called her. Shadi had offered the woman being with Tekashi anyone, and screaming and crying when Tekashi started beating her in the car. So he beats her in front of his daughter. Shadi, by her account, pulled Tekashi off her and demanded, "Are you crazy?" As Molina tells it, she was unable to return home to her family with a battered face if she wanted to avoid igniting an uproar. She and her daughter instead moved in with Tekashi and his mother in an apartment in Crowns Heights, Brooklyn. She was still living with him when he embarked on an international series of concerts that would take him to Dubai. So that's really when I was like seeing all her social media stuff, and she was like kind of talking about it. Social media showed Tekashi frolicking with two women whom he wanted to make his polyamorous life partner. Instruction that Tekashi relayed through his mother. Molina and her daughter checked into a hotel in Williamsburg. I used to live there, the same neighborhood where she had taken Tekashi on a fateful quest 5 years before. They had met through a mutual friend in 2011 when she was 16. Everybody knew him only as Danny Hernandez, not even Daniel. She called him Danny Hernandez. He had dropped out of school after his father was murdered in 2010 and was working as a clerk at the Stay Fresh Deli in Bushwick. So he was working at a bodega. She began working with him, and they seemed a perfect team. That's crazy. So she can't even think about it. Put in the comments he's done with co-worker. He began engaging in what she later termed little side hustles. She had just left the deli when he was arrested for selling a small amount of drugs on an undercover cop. So he was always like not very good in the drug game. He'd been selling drugs for less than a year and already got busted by an undercover cop. Wankster. She went down to central booking and then criminal court and waited until he was released. The deli was at 869 Broadway, but the address had nothing to do with his decision to adorn himself with multiple 6ix9ine tattoos. Molina understood that the tattoos were intended to have the same effect as his outrageous clothing. He was showing signs of wanting attention 24/7. Narcissism. I definitely believe he's a narcissist. He was showing signs of wanting 24/7 attention. She said if he wasn't about him, he wanted to make it about him. He didn't care who was there, but wanted everybody to be looking at him. Molina saved money and supported. He had been growing out his hair, and he had seen people dye theirs in various colors. He was like, I need to look different. Molina would recall. He said, where do I get someone to color my hair? I said, you have to go to the Williamsburg if you're going to get your hair colored anywhere. You got to go to Williamsburg. You got to go to Williamsburg. That was in the summer 2013. They visited the realm of hipsters and ventured into the passageway that had been turned into a kind of mini mall. Yeah, that's where I used to stay. It had a lot of cool bars. It was definitely hipstered out, but I'm a skateboarder. It was super cool, and I enjoyed my time living there. I lived there for about a half a year, and it's right almost before he was living there, I think. No, it was way before. He didn't move there. I'm looking at 2013. Maybe it was right around that time. They came to the Hello Beautiful salon run by a tattooed native of Los Angeles named Rebecca. The response of the staff when Tekashi entered suggested they had come to exactly the right place. They were like, oh my God, Molina remembered. They were fascinated. He had a whole bunch of 6ix9ines. They were saying, you have 6ix9ines all over you. That's really cool. The talented Rebecca set to work on Tekashi's left with a rainbowed hair that would become his trademark. Molina would recall telling him, if you like it, I love it. I'm going to support you pretty much no matter what. But at the end of the day, you gotta walk around like that. I just got to be right next to you. He asked her if she was sure she liked it. She replied, you're asking me if I'm sure after it's already done? Yeah, I'm sure. She was not all sure about him fostering a raunchy persona by making a sex video that featured him and a friend with a girl who proved to be just 13. All publicity is good publicity, she would say in a summing up of Tekashi's view. So basically she's saying that he did that on purpose to get publicity, which is super crazy. One expectation in the publicity regarding domestic violence, Tekashi was certainly not seeking to build his image by being physically abusive during the entire relationship with Molina. She says that the battering did not stop after the birth of their daughter, an incident in the car that left the child crying and her too battered to go home. As a result, Molina was living with him in August when he came home at 5 a.m. following the joint with a stripper that was documented online. Molina again had to ask an obvious question. She says he responded as before. He was very aggressive. Molina recalled he didn't want black eye, including keeping the peace between Tekashi and Molina and intervening when he got out of hand. But membership in continuing criminal enterprises is a federal crime. Even if he is undertaking at least a part of fostering an image, Tekashi knew he was being investigated, and he said he especially adverse to incarceration. The discovery of the gun in particular seemed to send him into a panic. He said he had given his two life partners the chase and called Molina begging her to join him in Dubai. The woman who had supported him for 7 years stayed in Long Island, where in early November, Tekashi was in the company of a young woman named Jade out in Los Angeles, and a drive-by shooting cut short the filming of supposed to have been music video featuring Kanye West and Nicki Minaj. Along with him, he arrived back in Long Island in the morning. Molina saw Cap. She decided she had and was done with him. So part ways with Shadi Tekashi and informed him that his life was in danger. A wiretap allegedly picked up to their child. Molina understood that Tekashi was making excuses, but the danger seemed real enough. Racketeering. Tekashi was remanded, but nonetheless arranged for Jade to get an expensive car for Christmas. He got nothing from Molina. So this is, I guess, something. Merry Christmas, everyone. I just wanted to thank God for all that I have been blessed with, including my family, because no matter what we have or what we struggle to make it happen. My daughter will always be blessed with or without any support, because I have nothing more solid than just dollar. I have God and my family, two things that can't be bought or flexed with. I'm blessed and highly favored because God knows my heart, and I ain't ever have to demoralize myself for anything my daughter has. No one can say they struggle more than me, my mom, my dad, my aunt, to make my daughter never go without. We're done with all the selfish, I don't even know, self-fleshy? I'm never even seen them. Holidays are more than just toys and gifts. It's about love, family, which my daughter has an infinite abundance of. January 23rd, and agreed to cooperate fully with reporters, perhaps with the controversial entrees who were those that Molina said she took after Tekashi did not beat her. She herself suffered a beating by her account at the hand of a video of FaceTime confrontation that he had with Tato, who take $30,000 contract on Tato. Tekashi has since pled guilty to arranging the shot to be fired approximately direction at Tato and his cousin Chief Keef. As they stood at the W Hotel in Times Square while visiting Chicago, he testified in the grand jury that the shooter in the gang didn't want to shoot straight was his pal Kinti Kuda B. McKenzie. I feel like real life should not be complicated. In the meantime, Luna is seeking to reclaim. She added, sometimes I feel unreal that it feels normal to me because it's been proven profound by all she could never have happened after that day in her 16th year when she started up with the one she. So that's about it. Over reading that, that was pretty crazy. I'm sorry, maybe if the stream broke up, but I just wanted to share that with you because I've been basically talking about it for the last. This is like some other things to just show everybody what Tekashi is actually about. Going and play daughter, and I'll get Just joking. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Put stuff in the comments. I want to discuss this. Not enough people are putting comments. Please, somebody, just write any type of comment. It could be bad or good. I just want to discuss this topic. So I'll check you later. Peace, love, happiness. I'm out.